Hi, fellow travelers. Self reflection time. Whenever I get an insight, it's like a flash in my understanding. I am choosing to share it because every understanding that comes to one means that many who have not yet gotten that grace are still asking themselves the same question. And as far as life is concerned, whatever is, has been, and will always be. The all outside as it is might change, but the way we understand will always be the same. And there will be those who don't get it at all. They will have eyes, but they won't see. They will have ears, but they won't hear. Then there will be those ones who have no inner ear. Without that inner hearing, you can hear on the outside, but you don't gain understanding. So you gather a lot of information. And that's why most people say that information is power. But information is not power. Information is power when applied. And you can't apply just information. You have to understand it in order to get something that you want out of it. So, basing on the Bible that said whatever has been will always be, it just came to my mind. Why are we so confused? Why are we so miserable? Why are always people praying and really, you rarely see people who are so grateful? Everyone is praying in one way or another. There are those who pray like the words, oh God, give me this, give me that. God, my dear, can't you see me? Those who fast, I'm fasting to get this. And you think, okay, once they get this, that will be it. No, they'll have to say more prayers. At one point, I had to go through an experience. Me, as a person who has always had inner conversations, I was like, these people, the church groups, in churches, there are some groups, the, the, the ones that are nearer to the nearest to God. We have organizations, and in those organizations, we have leaders who lead us, And when they would be organizing these people to come and pray, they'll always be the first ones to give themselves like the front seats, the front access. I don't know if the churches you go to are the same, but then I was going to different churches and I was observing, you know. And even in many religious people, the people who are nearer, they feel like, oh, we are near to glory. Even those people who walked near to Jesus, they were like, oh yeah, we are the ones who saw him. No, me, I know that. Even in social life, you find that people are very proud to be associated with someone who has done their work, who has gotten their award. Everyone wants to know them. You rarely find people who are associating with those who have been beaten with life, who are actually standing for them. No, everyone runs away from darkness, much as we also have darkness in ourselves. Anyway, it's normally a ramble, but it gives you insight to check yourself. When you're checking yourself, you leave no room unturned. So it's like when you're cleaning your house, you can't say like, I'm going to just clean the kitchen. Okay, you can do it in portions, but you have to clean everywhere. If you even to clean better, you have to start with your toilet, so that you know where the stinkiest, where the dirty of the dirty is where you should really look, and you clean. Then these other places, when I talk of the kitchen, I could say like our faces, our words, but the inner, the skeletons we carry within ourselves, we need to bring them out. So back to point, since we are concluding the year, most of you are feeling really upbeat. You're looking at others and you think, oh my God, they've gained this and I've not gained that. I'll keep repeating because it goes on and on. Very soon they're going to be telling you, make New Year's resolution, you are setting yourself up for failure. Every time you do that, let life flow, because the only one who has a key to how this life will move is God. I've been in positions that I never thought I would be in. I've been forced to take back my words by life. I don't know if you've faced that, but all in all, today when I was actually talking to somebody, insight came to me. When we do things, the only thing that you can do successfully and with clarity is one that you do yourself. You know the start, you know the middle, you know the end. But as long as you're involving others, you'll find that you'll have to bear with their energy. It doesn't matter whether it is a higher energy, a lower energy, or a medium energy where you're all balanced. It would be wonderful if we all found our level. But I'm sure you're coming to a realization that that is rarely the case. God puts us in places where you feel there is actually no one who understands the language you're talking. When they talk of the Tower of Babylon, I think it is happening now. You think it was past? No. But when we fall from grace, when we stopped communicating as spirits, whereby we would be communicating in truth, in honesty, in love, we started speaking alien languages to one another. It's until you're regaining and going back to home that you start understanding others. It's when you look and you can really see through and you say, oh, so they mean this. You can start reading what people mean before they even do it. So I realized that we put a lot of things in our life. We plan so much at one time, whereby we set ourselves up for failure. If you've been doing that and you see that when the year was starting, you had about 5 things, and among the 5, you've not even accomplished any, it means you put too much. It's even when we go before our God. The God who made us knows what we really need, but we've deserted that and we've lost trust in Him, that we are basing or we are judging from what others are getting, So you find that you'll do different things just because people are doing them. And within that, you will put a lot that you will confuse the space. If our God is space and we have to put things in the vortex, let's say in the basket of what we desire to get in life, but then you keep putting in requests, you'll become like an ungrateful child or an insatiable child who is always asking. When you buy milk, she says, no, I want porridge. When you buy porridge, she will say, no, can't I have cereal? And it's what is even going on in the physical. We eat a mix of different foods, and that is already complicating life. Everything that is a mix is already a complication to your life. Even health-wise, start pulling out different things. I'm doing the same, and honestly, I'm discovering that my life gets easier. Even among the people you work with, you could say, me, I'm friendly, I've got people around me, but are they really your friends? Or do they want what you give them? Are they just drinking from your energy? Because there are people who will drink your energy without even appreciating it. It's another way if you choose to give it to them, because you can't have a banquet by yourself, or no man is an island, yes? And if you're an island, you need to feed others as well. So what am I trying to say? Take one thing at a time, even for yourself. Write out what you would really want out of life. Then work on one and one. I realize that even in general, us having children at the same time, because you'll find that you hardly ever present for any of them. You give half of yourself. This would be the best time, actually, having seen all that, to find somebody who's been doing some work, and then you get a proper relationship. But that is also it's not very easy, because when you speak the truth or your truth, most people don't want to conquer with it, but they know the truth inside themselves. So as a tip for you to go forward, don't say many prayers. You'll confuse your God on what you really need and what you don't want. Even when you look around, don't have so many desires. You will overwhelm yourself. You need some free space. Maybe it is high time you should be taking out the chaff. Look into your life and start sorting out what is really not necessary. We carry around so much baggage, things that don't benefit us. So what are you doing with an incident that happened in November? You go backwards in October, in August, in September, in January. What are you still doing with something that happened last year? Especially if it is not to uplift you, in case you're having a day that is not going, that is challenging. So do some house cleaning within yourself, and you have some space to breathe, you have some space to fly, and after all, life becomes easier every time it is lighter. So let's do some healing. Let's show ourselves some love, and above it all, let's question ourselves in everything we do. Is it really necessary? Do I need it, or do I want it? What should I be wanting, and what should I be needing? Much love and blessing as usual.